Okay, four times the charm. All right. Well, after giving a lot of thought, I finally decided to start my online book review slash discussion sessions here. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, but I just didn't feel up to it, didn't feel confident. But this is something I love doing. I know that I would really enjoy doing. So life is too short not to do things that we love. Anyways, so I have a few reasons that why I wanted to do this. First of all, I love reading. It is one of my passions, and just thinking about and learning, discussing about the content, the messages the author is trying to give. It's very exciting. I have a friend whom we have done a book discussion almost 3 years now, and it is just a great way to learn and reflect on things that you know the book provides. Anyways, and second of all, I mean, as like most people, I do struggle with public speaking, so this is my way of getting better and practicing public speaking. Even looking at the camera and talking to the camera makes me somewhat nervous, and honestly, I have recorded myself like a million times, and there were points like, oh my god, I can't do it anymore. But you know what? Practice makes it perfect. Okay, so basically, what I'll be doing is I'll be reading up to four books a month, and at the end of the month, I will be doing this kind of videos. Gonna go over things that I enjoyed, things I learned, just analyze the books. And also, I will be including the quotes or the lessons learned in the video as well, so that will be visible to everybody to see. So the first book I read was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I have it on my Kindle. This book was actually recommended by my sister Mara. She posted on her social media. And I looked at it and I thought, maybe I'm gonna give it a try. So it's a science fiction, suspense, thriller, and it's action packed. I mean, it's just, I could not put the book down for 2 days straight, literally, enjoy the whole process. But anyways, so the main character of this fiction is a guy who's a college professor, and basically he's way much more intelligent than what he, does. But at some point in his career, he decided to choose his family over his career. So obviously, he has a great life, but deep down, he just regrets that he didn't choose his career. So he wonders what would have been, like if he actually chose his career. So it kind of works out, and there's, crazy things happen. Basically, the whole content of the book is not something that happens in real life. So it's about, quantum physics, parallel, timeline, like those kind of contents, right? Those kind of subjects. So, anyways, the whole idea of the whole book is that um, based on every decision we make, a different timeline gets created. So basically, there are 1,000 different versions of me, for example, out there doing different things based on the choices I made in my whole life. It kind of reminds me of the show Loki, Marvel show. He explains that there's just the branch of timelines, endless timelines get created. But anyways, so things happen, and then he actually gets into that life where he chose his career above his family, and he realized that was nothing that he ever wanted. But anyway, so not to kind of ruin everything for you, but the whole idea of the book, or the whole message of the book, was family is everything above anything else. Anyone can have a great career, a wealthy lifestyle, anything, but at the end of the day, family is there for you, for us, for everybody. So I love the book. So much action going on. I would say if you're looking for a really good science fiction thriller, this is a great book to read. So the second book I read was Have to Lead When You're Not in Charge by Clay Croggins. And this was an interesting read. It's a nonfiction, obviously, and basically nonfiction are kind of my favorite, so I really enjoyed it. Anyways, so the message of this book is you do not have to be in charge or have to be in authority level to lead or to make changes or to influence others. Basically, whatever position that we are in, whatever level we are in, we are leading. We are leading ourselves. So basically, how we lead ourselves, we will lead others the same way. And the book goes on and gives advice about how to lead yourself and how to make changes and influence in the position that we are in. The author is a pastor, and there were many Christian references, a lot of references from Bible quotes, but I still find it incredibly helpful. It was an exciting read because there were so many insights, so many good ideas like I can take on. Okay, so my third read was The Almanac of Naval Ravikant by Eric Jorgenson. So I have the book here. So this is basically a collection of his articles he wrote, blog posts, speeches he gave like in many different places. So Naval Ravikant is an American Indian entrepreneur, investor, and he's one of the brightest people in our lifetime. And when I read the book, I did do some research on him, and I found many of his interviews and his ideas and his philosophy, and I found him very intelligent. I mean, just the way he talks, the way he expresses, I can tell how much he thinks and how much he reads. So it does make sense that there's a whole book about him or what he said. But anyway, so the book is basically, yes, a lot of sections. There were so many things to reference, so many things just to learn what he said. So the biggest thing was just be yourself. Find what you're really passionate about. Just finding yourself was the main, finding yourself is the most important thing. That was his message. But anyways, yeah, if you are into a nonfiction, especially a self-development book, this probably, I would say, one of the really good ones. And even at the end of the book, there were a collection of his recommended books, and I'm planning on reading some of them because some of the books I haven't even heard before, but it was a great time for me to kind of reflect on like what I really want to do or what I'm really good at, and what is it there that I'm not doing even though I'm incredibly passionate about. So maybe that's one of the reasons I wanted to start this book review session. So thanks to this book. All right. My last read was Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And as a parent myself now, I really want to learn about myself. I want to raise a good person. So I read this book and I found it incredibly interesting and learned a lot about myself, about my family, my parents, even just people that I know around me. And yeah, so the main idea was why do we get into the point that we're not emotionally mature, even as an adult? As a child, we're very emotionally occupied. But when we grow up, that's when we basically kind of have the understanding of there are certain consequences of our feelings or emotional expression. So that's when we kind of learn how to behave or learn, certain things about ourselves. But for emotionally immature people, that stage doesn't happen. So even as an adult, people tend to act like kids, throw a temper tantrum and be mad for no reason and just self-destruction. I mean, there's just so many things about, the whole subject. It was a very interesting read, and I would totally recommend to parents to kind of get to know ourselves in order to become a good parent. Okay, well, this concludes my February reads, and it's been pretty interesting for me to make this video, and we'll see you all next month.